Alright, hi. This is going to be a very quick set of tutorials I'm going to film. Just as like a base level so people can learn to run the game. Out of bounds, that is. Is like, because some of the stuff isn't entirely, self-explanatory. There's like some setups involved and stuff. I'm going to record this one chapter at a time because it makes life a lot easier for me. So this is going to be Prologue Chapter 1, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to the other chapters up by. So we'll see. I'm playing on the down patch, the very first patch of the game, 1.0.0. Maybe 1.0.1, I don't remember. But either way, I'll leave a guide to how to down patch in the description of this at songspeeding.com, because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to do down patching again. So I'd recommend playing on low graphics, just makes the game run a bit easier. But make sure game runs at like a good FPS, because that helps. Also, on the very first patch of the game, you might have to manually up your mouse sensitivity, because the sensitivity is broken on this reason. Anyway, we're gonna start a new game. We're gonna play on easy, because enemies take less hits, take less damage from enemies, and fall damage and whatever. So this is a good time to talk about the fastest way to skip cutscenes. Because, like, you see, sometimes when you hold down E, it takes a while. It takes a few seconds after the cutscene starts to skip the cutscene. Sometimes it's hard to time your E press. If you just hold down E the entire time, and then either mash spacebar, or you mash click, automatically skips through cutscenes here. So I'll show you here. Hold E, spam click, and it skips the cutscene. The prologue is pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of cutscene skipping and sitting around. You just want to make sure you take good walking lines. Back and forth for the prologue. It's not too bad.
Really?
I want to apologize if my keyboard is audible. I have a Razer keyboard. It's awful. It's loud. Nothing I can do about it.
Here's the key.
The unfortunate thing about running this game is the first, 14 minutes are all very slow. Until you get to chapter 1, until you get to chapter 2, the game doesn't pick up that much. And then for, the last half an hour, the game really picks up instead. Fortunately, we have to sit through this.
Hello? Is someone there?
I recommend kind of walking to this sideways like this to try and hit this elevator button as fast as possible. Fine if you don't get it. You can just hold E and mash click through both of those. It doesn't matter where you stand here because you'll get placed in the same spot no matter what. Just, put yourself in a good place with Wilson here. We just walk. And we have to sit and wait for Wilson to get his act together. This might be a good time to mention. Live Split. So if you don't have already Live Split, go download it. It's free. So we used time without loads for this run, which you find out by activating the load remover in Live Split. Oh, sec. Yeah, so quickly for activating the load remover, you go to Edit Splits, put Bendy.revival as your split name, as your split file name, and then this should appear. That also split in load remover. Until you click Activate, activated. You can set if you want a timer to start automatically. All this jazz. Turn all that on. But yeah, definitely use the load remover. It cuts out all load times and pausing. We'll get to pausing in a bit. Why that might be useful to you. You're just gonna sit in here. Yeah, so we're gonna scale that cutscene immediately. Book on 180. Pick up the wrench first. And then you're gonna come over to the record. The record is the only of these cutscenes that you can't skip because it's long enough. But with some fast mashing, you can get all these cutscenes pretty quickly. We're going to go for the plush book, this inkwell, and then the gear. Nice and simple. I'm holding, during those cutscenes, I'm holding the direction I want to walk after the cutscene. Before the cutscene ends. You might have to mash a little bit quicker for some of these, because they're really time to skip. Because you technically can't skip it as soon as the stand-up animation of the cutscene starts. As soon as like Audrey starts to like bob her head back up, you can't skip it. Yeah, let's put all those in. It's not too bad. But the prologue is really self-explanatory. Gonna wait for Wilson to talk. And here, mash the or like the middle of this lever. Or maybe the top, I don't know. Skip this cutscene. Sit through the really loud title screen. Gonna blow my ears off. Yeah, so here I can show you. I'm gonna hit the load screen in a minute. Time machine automatically pause. Yeah. Automatically starts as the cutscene starts playing. There you go. Anyway, yeah, so as soon as you see the load thing go, hold E and match click. You're gonna open this drawer, grab these, skip the cutscene, walk behind you and put the umbrellas into the ladder. Mash E as soon as you're finished with the ladder cutscene. Press T to crouch, and then we think it's a bit faster to jump a bunch whilst you don't have sprint here. So I'm just going to mash jump as we go down this corridor. Out into this. I'm going to spam jump so we can stand up a bit faster. Continue jumping up this ramp. Be mindful when you jump up this ramp because sometimes you can get your like heads. You can slam your head against like the pipes and stuff, which wastes a little bit of time. You can slam your head into the bottom side of the pipe, but be careful not to hit the front side because that'll just kill your forwards momentum. Around this guy. Go straight for this. Mash E to climb. Hold to the side here. Hit this. You can do about 2 jumps here, and then just hold sprint. Sorry, hold left shift to sprint. Head to the end scroller. So see, this time sometimes the wall doesn't load. That doesn't happen. The wall doesn't load. Continuously pause and unpause. Wall should load eventually, whilst not losing you too much time. It's unfortunately something we can't really get past. They fix it in later patches, but they fix all the speedrun skips, so, you know, propose. Yeah, so just regular prologue stuff. I'm going to head up over here, skip the cutscene, or you'll be holding sprint for after the cutscene. So something I'm doing here is, I use all my sprint up until you get to the very bottom of the sprint bar. And then once I've got barely any sprint left, I will mash like the sprint button in kind of a rhythmic fashion. Like this. You want to be like mashing it, but you want to be like kind of on off every like third to half a second. this one tends to load in quite quickly, so I need to pause on that one. So into chapter 1 here, it's pretty simple. This code is always 451. I will leave all the codes in the description of all the videos, all the tutorial videos. I'll leave all the codes. So here we're going to do like our first little skip. There's two ways of doing this. I don't like doing it this way, where you kind of jump here, do like a strafe jump around this corner on this pole, you like get on this brick. It's a little tricky to do, and I'm not very well practiced on it, but yeah, you can do it like that. Alternatively, you can jump onto this bench and kind of aim for this brick. Do like a sprint jump into this brick, and then you can jump up at the wall. Saves like a second or so from going around. It's not too bad. After that, you're probably likely to be low on sprint. So you want to like spam sprint going down this corridor and then jump down. Crawl under this, activate this, crawl back through, climb the ladder. Alright, so here we're going to head straight forward and we're going to grab this upgrade. This is technically optional. We don't know if it saves time or not currently to not pick this up. Or if it's pick up anyway. Of course, I'm going to grab the stamina upgrade. It lets us run at full speed rather than doing our weird on-off sprint. If you've played Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's kind of like the same concept as whistle sprinting. Well, whistle sprinting is like a bit slower than actual sprinting, but conserves your stamina. Yeah, but we can do like longer bits of running uncontested for a bit now. Alright, this section is pretty straightforward, like the rest of chapter 1. I like to get to that gate, and then after I open that gate, I will go back to on-off sprinting. It's lock. I'm going to sprint all the way over here and do this. So when you leave this cutscene, you're going to want to run diagonally here, like hug the wall, then run that way. Skips the butcher gang member from spawning in. You can run down here to this gate. After the cutscene, you want to run behind you, back exactly where you came from. Get rid of that cutscene. You want to go this way a bit until he sees you, and then pull in. Preferably there you don't get seen by the butcher gang member, but I didn't pull back so close to the wall fast enough. We get seen by this guy, we don't really care, as we head our way onto the canteen, the cafeteria. What's it actually called? The lounge. Go to the lounge then. You can crouch into this sort of space to lose the guy. So we're gonna get seen by this lost one, and we're gonna run around the first table. We're gonna sprint jump up to a particular bar stool, and as soon as we get onto the bar, we're gonna crouch. We're going to run around, jump onto this bar stool, get up, then crouch. And you want to walk close to the edge that you kind of go up onto this chair. And as soon as you get onto the chair, you'll walk across like the chair legs. And the guy won't see you if you're crouch walk. To make a note, when you get into this room after doing that, make sure that the guy goes around this desk before you stand up and start sprinting. Otherwise he will see you and you can't pick up the fuse. As soon as he kind of goes fully around, then you can go forwards. A couple of ways to get around the guy. When you come out of here, you're usually about here. You would jump over this chair here. Then you can go like this. Crouch through that. Or you can jump onto this and then walk around here. It's up to you. So after we get fused, we're going to head down here. If you didn't get the butcher gang on that on the second go through that area, you want to hug the wall there again, so you don't get him. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go back through here. Sprint all the way through. So, something worth bringing up whilst we got a bit of down here. Things. Whenever I'm going for a crawl space, I'm holding sprint and I am mashing C, which is the crouch button. If you're holding sprint and mash C, the game attempts to try and stand you up for like 2 frames, but because you're in a crouch spot, it will immediately crouch you again. But because the game tried to crouch you up, you get a tiny bit of the sprint speed. And so... Alright? Yeah, so, see, like here, I'm going to hold shift and sprint, and I'm going to mash C, and you see I get boosted forwards a bit. I'm getting very temporary amounts of sprint speed applied to me whilst crouching. Crouch spaces. Of course, you have to be in a crouch space to do that, otherwise if you sprint whilst not in crouch spaces, you'll just stand up. For that fight section back there, there's nothing special, just like stand in that little spot until you've beaten them all up. They've only got like 3 health each, I think, on easy, so they're not too bad. So you don't want to push this cart until it's just a bit past like the handle. It's a bit deceiving, that one, because sometimes it looks like it's far enough along, but it's still slightly blocking the handle. It's a crawl through these, like that. If you need health, there's some food there, which is a useful location to know. You're gonna crawl through this vent. See, look, the spamming thing really works there. The spam crouch thing. There's also some food on the bench after that crawl space, which you also optionally might want to pick up. Oh, my game is having a second. There we go. Sometimes this might not be loaded in, so again you can do the pause thing. Let's see. So this is we're pretty much almost done with chapter 1. There's literally just like a couple events left to go. The rest of the chapter. Yeah, we're gonna knock on this. Very simple. I'm gonna run over here and open this. He gets by crouching the game. So I'm gonna spam crouch. I mean, you can do it really fast like this and get quite a lot of movement forwards. It honestly saves milliseconds from each of the crouches you do, but it probably saves a few seconds from the run to do it. All very simple. I like to kind of look at this angle before going through the door, because I think the block you need to hit is on that side of the door here. And so, well, again, more crouch boosting. Crouch through that a little bit. Sometimes, for some reason here, you can miss a trigger, like a dialogue trigger. I don't know when or why or how. I'm not sure anybody knows why it doesn't work sometimes. But you get it the Varret line, you're fine. Stand here, you mash E, and that's the chapter done with. Yet, it's not very complicated. The first chapter is very simple. And Prologue. It's just a lot of running. But chapter 2 is going to have some more spicy things. So, yeah. Should get the hand of this one pretty quickly. Fine. But